Welcome to Basically Sci-Fi, the short story podcast with stories you can basically call sci-fi. My name's Todd.
And I'm Jared.
And today's story is dealing with a bit of time travel shenanigans, which is appropriate considering when this is being recorded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, you don't know that today's story is about time travel. So we stopped doing this show like a couple of years ago and then decided to get back into it. Some of the things we recorded got lost, like this episode. And then we were putting out old episodes to kind of catch up because we'd recorded a bunch and then wrote a bunch, but just never put it online.
Mm-hmm.
So in the process of trying to catch back up, we've realized that we lost a bunch of stuff that we recorded too.
I think it's you lost a bunch of stuff.
We realized that I lost a bunch of stuff. So here we are. If some of the logistics later doesn't make sense, having to do with us talking about format and like today's date and who won what election, that's why.
I mean, I think all of the episodes have been recorded under the Orange Assholes regime, so...
No, we started recording because literally in like episode 3 or whatever, I had the Dark Lord Edeth chanting "Maga, Maga, Maga" as a magic spell because I was so sure that would be hilarious years later when we all remembered. Like, remember when Trump ran for president? That was ridiculous.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah. And then how he won, and then for 4 years it's been this life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost 4. That's today's date.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that's the end of our politics podcast, our quad annual updates on who is president podcast. Quad? Quatra?
Yeah.
Just quad.
Something like that.
Anyway,
Who knows?
if any of our fans who speak any dead languages can fill me in on what that would be, it would be appreciated. So, hey, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and a guess at what today's date is in the comments, judging by our conversation. I've been playing Xenoblade Chronicles for a few weeks, and what else can we use to date the episode?
I picked up Mass Effect Andromeda today.
What?
But that's like a 4-year-old game at this point, so it only kind of dates it.
Okay, yep. It's been about that long since that... Really that long?
I don't know. I don't really have any idea when that game came out.
Probably not.
Wasn't paying attention.
Dropping confusing clues.
Yeah.
There's one pretty obvious clue. It's like an American holiday that's kind of big that we just had recently.
Yeah, the 4th of July was yesterday.
Yeah, okay. like, comment, and subscribe, and try to guess today's date based on this conversation.
In theory, this will be coming out in like a week or two, so...
I mean, the date of the story's being recorded. Like, don't just write what the date that you watched it on, or do that. I don't care. It'll mess with the statistics on YouTube in our favor if you do, so, you know.
Yeah, just reply with as many answers as you can think of.
Or, like, a good job, guys. Or, hey, that's my son. He made it. Onto the internet.
All by himself.
Oh, you better believe it. I got zero help from you.
Yeah, yep.
Mom. Wait. Oh, man. Anyway, so, yeah, speaking of logistics, from this episode on, we're going to be recording our stories and uploading them separately, so it should be shorter.
Oh, boy.
Because now that you don't have jobs and you're not driving to work, you don't need such a long podcast.
Exactly. And we'll also be being joined by a new member
Right.
in a couple of weeks.
Who we've already recorded his episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't have to tell them that. You complaining about me dating things.
Well.
Now you're dating like 2 episodes from now.
Guess the dates for every episode. That's the new game.
We probably should have written those down, huh?
Yeah. Oh,
if
man.
only we knew we were going to do this.
That's the approximate dates. Look, they weren't that long ago. I'm pretty sure it was like 3 and 6 weeks ago. So
yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yep. Hey, so at this point in the timeline, which we all know is still the worst timeline, we're still doing prompts for our stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you remind me? Because I have my story open. I'm looking at the title. It does not say the prompts. What were the prompts?
I believe mine was morality and yours was highbrow.
Yeah.
So, two, I guess they kind of fit together.
They do.
I went a really weird direction with the prompts in this one, I think. If I recall correctly, at least.
I do remember now that I think the reason I said highbrow was literally because I was talking to Adam and made some kind of joke about highbrow, and I'm like, you know what? That's it. I'm going to tell Jared that's my prompt.
Yeah, that seems about right.
So, there's the reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, why don't we get this rockin' party started? I'm gonna read my story, and then we'll say thanks for listening, and then we'll immediately record your story.
All right.
Yeah, and then we'll also say try to date that episode. This story is called Kids Say the Darndest Things.
That's a title that did not age well.
I don't know when this was written. I don't know.
Yeah, what's that? That kind of has an effect on the implication of that title. So,
yeah.
Was it before he was called out on doing horrible shit, or after?
Well, we'll leave that up to the experts in the comments section.
Yeah.
Maybe there will be some more clues written in the story that will also further date the episode. I don't know. I'm looking at it for the first time in years.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, and characters have voices, and I'll figure it out. So this is Kids Say the Darndest Things.
All right.
Vin, the purple pirate of love, approached the podium to an eruption of applause, took a deep breath, and then a deep drink of his space ale, and then another deep breath, and said, "How many of you kids got dads here with you today?" Most of the audience raised their hands. Oh, so fucking what? You got dads who actually showed up to your pointless and boring elementary school graduation ceremony? You think you're better than me? At risk of his life, the Babastian principal of New Earth 2's most elite elementary school, the Academy for Kids Who Actually Seem to Know What's Going On, called out to the pirate from offstage. Mr. Vin, the purple pirate of love, sir, didn't you have a speech prepared for today? Right. Yeah, I did. Fuck off, you fat fuck. Vin lit a space cigarette and intentionally blew as much smoke as he could into the crowd of kids. I hope it stunts your growth. He then took a crumpled paper out of his coat pocket and began to read. Okay. Congratulations, class of space year XX94. You have all managed to learn how to be, really smart. Vin looked around the room as he read his speech. Alabaster Garfield stood silently guarding the gymnasium entrance, not allowing anyone to enter or leave, even to use the toilet. Connor Fnu, Sneeze, and Mitch, meanwhile, were making their way up and down the aisles where all the kids were seated. These three pirates were each pretending to be trying to make their way to some seat in the middle of the row, repeating, "Sorry, excuse me," while each was equipped with a scanner, which they used to inconspicuously check each of the students for a certain peculiarity. It's a hard word to say. Vin took another drag of his space cigarette and continued to read. I'm sure that most of you will not be able to remember this day as you reach adulthood, if you ever make it to adulthood at all. If you do, though, I hope you remember these words. There is no try. There is only do, or not be able to do the thing what you wanted to.
That's the quote.
So, if someday you find yourself in some kind of position of power or authority, and then you think you'll be able to challenge me, do not even try. 'Cause I'm telling you, you will fail and make an ass of yourself, and then everyone will hate you. You may think that you are the main character of this story, but you are fucking wrong. I am. I'm also the narrator, the publisher, the target demographic, and the reviewer. Alabaster sighed to himself. Captain be too confident sometimes. The Rockmen of planet Hard Stuffin' Prime are a hard people. And even though Alabaster himself is only half Rockman, he is as hard as any pure-blooded Rockman. And that's why, when he suddenly started crying like a bitch, Vin didn't immediately berate him as such. Instead, the pirate captain calmly asked over the crowd, My good Sir Alabaster, what is the cause of your sudden outburst? Are you troubled? All the kids and all their dads in the auditorium turned their attention to the entrance where Alabaster briefly composed himself and replied, Not meaning to interrupt, Captain, but it seems someone has stabbed clear through both the door and myself with a space saber. The ship's quartermaster then collapsed on the floor in a pool of half-rock blood. As Alabaster's body fell, a green space saber could be seen still hotly penetrating the gym door. Slowly, like that scene from The Phantom Menace, the saber began to cut a smaller door-shaped hole.
In the door.
In the door. It was taking some time, though, so Vin called out, The door has a handle, and it's unlocked, and the guard is incapacitated. The intruder either couldn't hear the advice, or more likely chose to ignore it, because the space saber continued to cut through. After roughly cutting the shape out, the intruder kicked through the metal door and made his appearance. With one muscular hand, the shirtless, sexually intimidating interloper pointed at Vin on stage and called out, Don't worry, everyone! I'm an executioner! For some reason, though, this announcement did nothing to calm the auditorium full of elementary school children, and they all proceeded to lose their shit. All the pirates were wearing radios, so Sneeze quickly contacted Vin. Hey buddy, do not you have any worry. We will be taking care of this asshole man. Vin replied, No, first mate. Keep scanning the children. We must find the one we came here for. Don't get distracted. I'll talk to him. Vin attempted to calm the crowd. Everyone, stay in your seats. I believe he must be here for me. After all, who among you could drive this man's passions like I can? The man who called himself an executioner called out again. I didn't come here to kill any kids. Today. The only head I want is from that man. Some of the older kids couldn't help but laugh. Vin was unfazed. You say you want my head. Have I wronged you somehow? I do believe this is our first time meeting. Maybe. And yeah, I confess, I don't have a firm grasp of everything going on. But I'm pretty sure I was supposed to put a sword in you and stop you from doing some kind of evil thing. You're going to stop me from doing evil? I'm giving a graduation speech to a bunch of elementary school kids. You might not be doing anything particularly evil right now, and that's not to say you haven't been doing evil things before that, or that you won't be doing something evil later tonight. Vin raised one eyebrow. Fair enough. You say you're an executioner. Are you also judge and jury? Under what jurisdiction do you claim to have the right to sentence me to death? I have no idea what a jury is, and I don't think that there should be any restrictions on anyone based on their religion. People are free to believe what they want to, as long as they don't impose those beliefs on others. Now wait right there. That's stupid. Wait. Wait right there, 'cause I'm coming for you. And with that, he began to charge, saber first. Vin was unable to respond. He was well accustomed to witty banter, but this would-be killer seemed to be at such an intellectual disadvantage that it would be unfair to engage him. Vin pulled 2 laser blasters from the holsters across his chest, but as soon as he drew his weapons, several school security guards put themselves between the pirate and his attacker. Stay behind us, sir, one of the nameless and disposable guards said. Vin lowered his weapons, but with a glance at the executioner, he could tell that these security guards would not be able to slow him for long. As vacuous as the intruder appeared, he was obviously very strong and capable with a weapon. Also, he was shirtless and covered in blood, so he looked legit terrifying. Vin said over his radio, Has anyone found the kid yet? I didn't shrink the whole goddamn universe to let some idiot with the IQ of a 10-year-old ruin it for me. Some of the graduating 5th graders nearby heard this comment and looked disappointed to realize that being as smart as a 5th grader was not actually a big accomplishment. The more they thought about that, though, they began to realize that no matter what level of education they reached, it was still not really a great feat in and of itself, and that the whole graduation ceremony was a sham. They vowed to never attend another graduation ceremony in their lives. Perhaps it was nihilistic of them to think so, but in realizing that the celebration of hollow accomplishments was worthless, they realized that they could determine their own value systems. They could pursue the opportunities they desired, even with or without the false platitudes of a society that couldn't care less about them on an individual level. These children appreciated the lesson that Vin taught them that day, and cherished the freedom of the nihilism in their hearts for the rest of their lives. Vin's radio buzzed in his ear again. Mitch to Vin! I read you, Mitch. Have you found the kid? Not yet. I've been scanning all these foreheads with the device you gave me to check for the abnormal brainwave pattern, but I just keep getting the same error message. I think it's broken. Horror flashed across Vin's face as he heard the news. Mitch, does this error message say, operator error? Yes, sir. Do you know how to fix it? You've been aiming too low, you fucking idiot. You're supposed to be scanning their upper brow, not their low brow. But you've always told me that I shouldn't aim too high since I'm such a failure. I was talking about your goals in life, not your fucking gun. Whatever. Get over here and help me with the intruder. Connor, Sneeze, both of you go back and rescan Mitch's rows. Don't bother trying to be subtle anymore. Get me that kid, now! The nameless security guards were already dead, and Vin's executioner was now a few mere steps away, space saber held high. Vin dove from the auditorium stage and dashed back to the entrance, where the injured Alabaster was still managing to keep the panicking children from escaping. Alabaster held his wound with one hand and a blaster with the other. All of you return to your seats. The situation will be resolved shortly. You heard the sword man. He doesn't want to kill any kids. One father raised his hand. What about parents? Can we leave? What kind of father are you that you would abandon your child with a killer in the room? Alabaster asked incredulously. Another father raised his hand. I'm not this kid's real father, just a legal guardian. Please let me through. Vin was immediately suspicious. Yes, give me the boy, and you may leave. Gladly, the guy who should probably never be trusted with another child again, handed his ward over to the pirate, and then peaced. Vin took the boy's hand and gripped it tightly. Hold tight, kid. We're getting out of here. Looking up at the crowd, Vin saw Mitch standing around looking lost. Vin yelled, Mitch, you worthless sack of bird shit! Come here and give me your scanner. Vin pulled one of the blasters from its holster. Here, I'll trade you. You can redeem yourself by taking care of that white-ass whitey. And with a glare, elaborated. Now, I don't want to see you again until one of you two is dead. You hear me? Mitch gulped cartoonishly. Aye, aye, sir. And with that, Vin was out the door, child in tow. The boy was human, with a mop of brown hair and blue eyes that any marketing firm that saw him would instantly declare, he's got that Midwest suburban church on Sunday, non-threatening, non-hoodie wearing Skittles carrying look that consumers crave. Vin and the boy made their way through the halls of the school until they came upon a restroom. Once inside, Vin pulled out Mitch's scanner and pointed it at the boy's high brow. After processing for a moment, the results came in, and Vin grinned wickedly as he read, Positive. I've found you. At long last. My note here says, Ghost stories. What do you want from me? The boy pleaded, tears streaming.
Oh, man. It's a great show.
Don't play dumb with me. I know your secret. You're the same as me. You, too, have been fingered.
What, by his guardian?
It's written, you can't see it. It's written with a capital F. It's, it's some kind of foreshadowing. The boy instantly
Yeah.
The boy instantly stopped crying. Well, this is new. In all my cycles, I've never met anyone who could identify me. I see. After the appearance of the Dark Lord Edeth and increased movement of the God Hand, I should have predicted that he was finally deciding to take a more active role in the universe. You've had quite enough time playing the lead. From here on, I will be the main character of the universe, said Vin. The boy rolled his eyes. I wonder how much you know, though I have an idea of your plan. While I'm still so young, I don't expect I could be able to defeat you here. Very well. Do what you will. Do you expect me to fall for that? You want me to kill you? No. If you die, all my work will be put to waste. I already know. You met with Space God and asked to be made the main character of the universe. If you were to die, the universe would be reset to the moment of your birth for you to attempt to reach your true ending once more. You've been cheating, though. Killing yourself just before the end of your natural lifespan, intentionally stalling the progress of time. Not this time, though. Exposition dump.
Yeah.
What will you do? Put me on suicide watch for the rest of my life? You'd be wasting the time that you're trying so hard to steal from me, Purple Pirate. As old as you are, I thought you'd have a better imagination than that. From outside the boys' restroom, the sounds of battle echoed off the porcelain walls. Vin dropped his scanner and pulled yet another blaster from his chest holster. Putting the gun to the boy's head, the pair exited the bathroom. In the halls outside, an epic duel was taking place where Mitch seemed to be successfully holding back Vin's assailant. Mitch raised his bird hand and did the Neo Matrix taunt. "You're no match for my new-style Birdman fist, Pacaw!" Some kind of karate, I guess. Vin almost retched with embarrassment. "Oh my fucking god, Mitch, that is so lame. Where's your gun?" Mitch leapt into the air and then propelled himself further with a flap of his muscular Climaxavian wing for a sweet double jump. "Hammer time!" Airy rolled to the side just as Mitch's heel dropped from above. The impact of his boot left a crack in the floor. Airy was breathing heavily. "For the crime of piracy and getting in my way, you too will be put to death." The two of them were taking their fight really seriously. "Okay, I'll leave him to you, Hammer. Like I said, don't you dare come back until one of you's dead." Again, Vin got no response. He was mad about being ignored, but there was no time. If Vin was right, the swordsman was going to split Mitch's bird half from his human half any moment now, and then Vin would be next on the chopping block. With a tug, Vin dragged the boy with him to the elementary school entrance. To Vin's surprise, a cavalcade of police hovercraft were just arriving. He should have seen that coming, to be honest. I don't know why I wrote that it was a surprise. Just outside the school entrance, several red area of effect circles appeared where the police were ready to blow away anyone who exited the building. Rather than risk instant vaporization, Vin quickly contacted the New Australia just outside New Earth 2's atmosphere by wrist communicator. "Is there anyone at the bridge?" No response. "This is Vin. Come in, New Australia. I need 2 teleports for the target and myself. Respond now." His radio crackled to life. Yep. This is the New Australia. "Report to me the instant those teleports are ready, and put your damn dick away." "Sir, yes, sir. Dick is away. Teleports should be ready momentarily." Just then, Vin felt a tap on his shoulder. He began to turn around and was about to deck the person who he assumed to be Mitch and said, "That white-haired space honky better be dead." To no listener's surprise, the person behind him wasn't Mitch, but rather... Well, if it isn't the intern from my very own home planet, the former Queen Zephos. Please gasp.
Oh,
God. Zephos laughed and with one hand brushed some of her long red hair to the side. "You thought that sexy brute was working on his own? You're too late, Zephos. I already have what I came for." Zephos raised one beautifully sculpted eyebrow. "Oh, you reveal yourself. You weren't just here to deliver a graduation speech." "Ha! I would have thought you would know that much at least. You know my feelings about children." And with that, Vin's captive finally spoke. "Yeah, lady, he told me all about his feelings for children. He took me into the boys' room and said something about being fingered. I didn't really understand, though."
There it is.
Zephos gasped. "You came here for this boy." Vin, perhaps for the first time in his life, didn't really have a response. Yes. No. Hold on. I could explain that thing about being fingered. Well, I can't really explain right now. I would have to show you. But no, that is not what it sounds like. In a momentary lapse of concentration, Vin loosened his grasp on the hostage. The boy quickly ran to Zephos and hugged her supple thigh tightly. I don't want to go with him. He is scary. Zephos furrowed her brow and spoke slowly. This explains a lot about you, Vin. Vin shook his head. No, this literally just makes everything more confusing. It's not what you think. Heavy footsteps echoed through the academy halls from behind Zephos. His space saber drawn, the executioner finally approached. Zephos kept her eyes locked on Vin. Took you long enough, Ari. Ari gripped his saber with both hands and bent his knees ready to strike. Pedophilia is the highest crime on my planet. I won't forgive you, Dad. I mean Beangut. I mean Vin. Fuck you, this isn't over, Vin shouted and then dove through the elementary school's double doors out into the red area of effect circles, which immediately burst into a hellscape of laser fire from the police hovercraft waiting outside. When the dust settled, only charred earth remained. Ari deactivated his space saber. It's over. Zephos sighed. Holy shit, you are proportionately sexy and stupid. No, he was teleported up to his pirate ship planet. The boy gasped. Where did you find this guy? Does he not know that teleportation occurs faster than the speed of laser blasts? Even Mitch, the hammer, was shocked. Yeah, it's pretty common knowledge, but I can see how it would be difficult to grasp. Maybe if you guys actually took the time to explain it to him, instead of berating him like that, he would understand. Zephos pointed at the half-climax avian. Ari, he's one of Vin's crew, be careful! Mitch raised both his hand and his wing above his head. I already gave up! Ari nodded. It's true. He fought honorably, but when the winner was clear, I suggested we might hold him as a bargaining chip for a peaceful resolution. He is clearly one of Vin's most powerful subordinates. And I tried to explain how Vin likely doesn't care either way about my life, or if he does, he might prefer me dead. It would be nice, though, if Vin cared about me even a little. I hope you get something good for my life. By the way, cute little human kid you got there. I'm half human myself, big guy. What's your name? The boy's face was briefly enveloped in dramatic shadow, before he raised his head and with a great big smile said, My name's Jared. You guys seem nice. Can I stay with you? The end.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. And that hopefully explains come back here for episode 17 or whatever, where that information will be necessary to know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I definitely didn't know it when we recorded episode 17.
And I think we might not have recorded this episode at all, ever. No.
No, we definitely did. I remember this one.
We did. You're right.
Yeah. Also, my half of the audio is in the Google Drive.
Anyway, what'd you think hearing it for the second time?
Yeah, it's good. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Not exactly sure where morality came into it, other than just a general lack of morality on Vin's part. But
I guess the morality part in my head was them discussing, whether it's okay to kill someone even if they're not being evil right now. Or maybe the thing about nihilism. I'm not sure. I think because of...
Yeah, fair enough.
The point is, because of the prompt morality, I decided to include a couple of monologues in there. And that did affect my writing.
plus a bit about fingering a child.
That surprisingly had nothing to do with morality.
No.
No. It's just funny.
Jesus.
Because of the misunderstanding. Nobody was in any danger.
Yeah.
Except for maybe Ari when he was a kid.
Yeah, no, but Ari's always had problems.
So yeah, I guess the prompts were morality and highbrow. So okay, yeah.
Yeah.
The highbrow was used pretty loosely.
Oh yeah, no, it's used pretty loosely in mine too.
In exactly the same way, splitting your forehead into two different brows?
No.
I don't know.
Not quite. Well, we'll get there.
We'll find out next time. It just...
Yeah.
Although, that does remind me now, because I remember explaining to my students, because in some lesson that we were doing, the term highbrow and lowbrow comes up. And yeah, so they're asking like what does highbrow and lowbrow mean? And I'm like, it means like sophisticated or not sophisticated. And they're like, what? I'm like, because if something is highbrow, then you make a face like this, going, yes, I see. And if something is lowbrow, then you go like, and you look like this. You guys can't see my brow.
No.
But literally, I think that's it.
But fairly certain it's got some sort of racist beginnings. But,
something to do with phrenology.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to bother explaining phrenology to my students. I mean, like, literally not my job.
No. No, that's for a real teacher to handle.
Right? With, like, real subjects. Rather than, as a native speaker, I am instantly an expert. I mean,
yeah.
Whatever. I did study the English in college and writing. So, occasionally I get to teach people, like, oh, no, you actually want to format your shit like this. Oh, you're writing for a scientific journal. That's much more... That's kind of above my pay grade, but I'm going to at least show you how to format it correctly. Man.
Yeah.
Sucks teaching adult students because they're all so much more accomplished than me.
Yep. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
I should teach elementary school kids. That way I can be like, check out how cool and tall I am. Part of the reason I moved to Japan. I'm like average height here.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess I'll stop just listing funny things that occur in my head. See you guys next time for Jared's episode.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited. That'll be about a week of real time later that I'll listen to it. So, leave a like, comment, and subscribe with the date that you think it is. I mean it. I'm serious.
Do it.
Bye.
Bye.